In 2008, Jodi Arias brutally murdered her ex-boyfriend, Travis Alexander, in a case that would captivate the nation. The crime was shocking, but the trial that followed turned into one of the most sensational and publicized legal battles of the 21st century. With a combination of graphic details, dramatic confessions, and media frenzy, the case became a true crime sensation. This is the story of the Jodi Arias case, a tale of love, jealousy, and murder. Jodi Arias and Travis Alexander met in 2006 at a convention for work. Over the next 2 years, their relationship became tumultuous, filled with passionate highs and intense lows. Travis, a successful businessman and motivational speaker, had a strong religious faith and was well liked by many. But Jodi, who had fallen deeply in love with him, struggled to cope with the relationship's ups and downs. On June 4th, 2008, Travis Alexander was found dead in his home in Mesa, Arizona. He had been stabbed 27 times, shot in the head, and his throat had been slashed. The brutality of the murder shocked everyone who knew him. Initially, Jodi denied any involvement, but investigators soon uncovered a series of disturbing details. At first, Jodi Arias claimed that she had nothing to do with Travis's death. She told investigators that she had not seen him for months, and that she had been in another state at the time of the murder. However, as investigators began to dig deeper, they uncovered a much darker story. Jodi's alibi quickly fell apart when photos taken from Travis's camera showed Jodi and Travis together on the day of the murder. Even more damning was a disturbing video that showed Jodi visiting Travis's house, where they were seen together just hours before his death. When confronted with this evidence, Jodi changed her story multiple times. First claiming it was an intruder, then saying she was present during the murder, but acted in self-defense after an altercation. The inconsistencies in her story became a key factor in the investigation, and it soon became clear that Jodi was hiding something far more sinister. In 2013, Jodi Arias stood trial for the murder of Travis Alexander. The case was filled with graphic details and shocking revelations, many of which were presented to the jury during the proceedings. The prosecution argued that Jodi had premeditated the murder, killing Travis out of jealousy after he had ended their relationship and started dating another woman. The defense, led by attorney Kirk Nurmi, claimed that Jodi killed Travis in self-defense after a violent confrontation. The trial was filled with dramatic moments, including Jodi's emotional testimony. She described the events leading up to the murder, detailing Travis's alleged abusive behavior. However, her testimony was met with skepticism, as many questioned the credibility of her claims. One of the most infamous moments in the trial came when Jodi Arias was questioned about her involvement in the killing. The emotional and often inconsistent testimony led to further doubts about her version of events. The jury was left to decide whether she was a victim of abuse or a calculating killer. After a lengthy trial, the jury convicted Jodi Arias of first-degree murder. The conviction was a victory for the prosecution, but the case was far from over. The sentencing phase of the trial was just as dramatic. The defense argued that Jodi should receive life in prison instead of the death penalty, citing her troubled background and claims of abuse. In 2015, Jodi was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The case, which had captured the public's attention for years, finally reached a conclusion. While Jodi's conviction brought some closure, the brutal nature of Travis's murder and the complex dynamics of the relationship left many questions unanswered. The Jodi Arias case remains one of the most sensationalized and controversial murder trials in recent history. It raised questions about the psychology of violent relationships, the complexities of abuse claims, and the role of the media in high-profile trials. For many, the case was a reminder of the dangers that can lurk beneath seemingly normal relationships. Jodi Arias' story has been the subject of countless documentaries, books, and TV shows, keeping the details of the case alive in popular culture. Despite her conviction, many still debate the true motivations behind the murder and the justice served in the case. Do you believe Jodi Arias was guilty of first-degree murder, or was she simply a victim of an abusive relationship? Share your thoughts in the comments below as we continue to explore the most controversial true crime stories. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more true crime stories and in-depth case breakdowns. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.